So part A says, Jenna has a casserole recipe that calls for a half a cup of butter, but she only has a third of a cup of butter. What fraction of the casserole recipe can Jenna make? Hint, use a common denominator. So if I draw my fraction rectangle, let's see. So if this is 1 by 1, that would be like 1 cup. Well, the recipe only calls for a half a cup. So we need this much to make 1 full batch. Well, we only have a third of a cup. So we'd have to divide this into 3 equal parts. And so we only have this much. Well, we have this much and we need all the way up to a half a cup to make a full batch. So what fraction of the batch do we have? So what we need to do is look at the size of our pieces. Well, they're different sizes. These two are small and these two are big. So what we need to do is break this down into equal size pieces. So if I split this in half and then this one in half, it go right along here, and then split this one in half, I would end up with 6 equal size pieces. Well, we have 2 of these pieces, but it takes 3 to make a full batch. So we have 2 out of 3, so we can make 2/3 of a batch. Okay, part B says Ken ordered 2/3 of a ton of sand. Ken wants to receive a fourth of his order now and 3/4 of his order later. How much sand in tons should Ken receive now? So he ordered 2/3 of a ton. Well, I could draw that a couple different ways. Let's use our measuring cups, and I know measuring tons of sand in measuring cups isn't very realistic, but let's use our measuring cups. So he ordered 2/3 of a ton. So if this is 1/3 and this is 1/3, that would be 2/3. Well, he wants to receive a fourth of that now. So we need to divide this into 4 equal pieces. Well, if I divide it here, there's 2 equal pieces. So now I need to divide these into 2 equal pieces as well. So if I split a third of a cup in half, well, half of a third would be a 1/6. So this would be 1/6 and 1/6, and to just double check, if we add these together, that would be 2/6, which is the same thing as 1/3. And so we split this one in half as well. And he wants 1/4 of his order, so he'd want 1 out of 4 of these. So he'd want a 1/6 of a ton. Okay, part C. It says, after eating a giant Hershey bar, you notice the label says that 1 bar is 2.5 servings. Yikes. If the giant Hershey bar shown by the rectangle below shade 1 serving. Well, 2 1/2 servings is the same thing as 5 halves. So we need to divide this into 5 equal pieces. So there's the 5, pretend they're equal pieces, and each piece would be serving a half a size. So this would be 1/2 a serving, 1/2 a serving, and so forth. So 1 serving, right here, the 1 serving would be 2 of these, and so we'd have to shade in 2 of these. So that would be 1 serving. The next part says, sketch how much you would have to add on if you wanted 4 servings. well, 2 of these is 1 serving, 2 more is another serving. So if we added 1 more onto here, we'd have 3 servings, and then we'd have to add 2 more for a 4th serving. So this would be, like, these 2 would be 1 serving, these 2 would be a 2nd serving, these 2 would be a 3rd serving, and then these 2 would be a 4th serving. So you would have to add 3 of these parts onto the end.